Former lieutenant in the British Army here. Now you know, chaps like me were born ready.
Clean crockery, clean cutlery, and a clean conscience. His lordship's motto is very appropriate here, I think.
Everything will be stereoscopic in the future. Absolutely, absolutely everything. And I am ready for it. I don't understand that. I can't have left it in there. It's not possible. But could I have? Oh god. Yeah, I guess so. Apparently our doctor right over here left a utensil up someone's butthole.
Women indispensable in society. Stop. Female-centric future awaits. Stop.
Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please.
Is something wrong, Uno?
It's just like again, I feel like the universe is trying to screw with me today as well. Even more. I'm fairly sure I recognize these jurors. Almost all of them, in fact.
Really? Funny coincidences like that do happen from time to time, don't they?
Yeah, but 6? 6 coincidences, it's like...
It is quite strange. The jurors are chosen at random from London's 6 million inhabitants, you know.
Yeah, you know, sometimes something tells me that's really not the case anymore. So I've been led to believe, but something tells me I'm being duped here. Well, no, Lord 16. The court calls upon the prosecution to introduce the facts of the case. As you wish, my lord. Allow me to begin with a word of warning to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. In short, there has never been a more self-evident case of cold-blooded murder. The victim, Mr. Pop Windyback, a proprietor of a pawn shop on Baker Street, was shot from behind and died instantly. The prosecution presents this photographic print of the crime scene. As the court will observe, there is a single bullet wound just below the gentleman's left shoulder. The evidence suggests that the bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in near-instant death. Moving on to the findings of Skulkin's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. Entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. Okay. So the gun was somewhere lower, on a lower position than Windyback's heart. And what's that supposed to tell us? It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Someone, like the accused, you might say. Do we have like some details in regard? Nah, we don't really have like statistics for their profiles, like how tall they are.
Oh,
The prosecution wishes to present the autopsy report and crime scene photograph as evidence, my lord. Indeed, the court accepts. Hand them to the bailiff, please. The autopsy report has been entered in the court record. Okay. Autopsy report and crime scene photograph. I now ask the court to turn its attention to the plan of the establishment, where the incident occurred. Okay, well, but before that, a photograph of the victim found murdered in the storeroom. Okay. So there's the bullet, there's the blood. Autopsy report. Male, occupation. The coroner is Dr. Stevens. Time of death, 1:30. Reporting party, Udona Skinnaruto. Post-mortem findings, single bullet wound into upper half of victim's body. No other visible signs of trauma. Instant death from a posteral anterior bullet wound to the heart. Post anterior. That means in the back. The bullet entered the body from the back on a gently rising diagonal trajectory. So it's not necessarily like fully horizontal, like you would point your gun at somebody like in the heart. Does it say like well, I don't know about the burn marks. On a gently rising diagonal trajectory. The proprietor was found in the storeroom where he kept articles pawned to him. A windowless room with a single point of entry. A door to the main shop that was found locked. In this sealed chamber, there were only 2 persons present. The victim, Mr. Windyback, and the accused. It may further interest the court to know that when the accused was discovered at the scene, she had in her hand the gun used to fire the fatal bullet. Oh, that's that then, isn't it? Nothing more to say.
Is that grubbly little girl a pickpocket anyway? She's one of those filthy traps that lives in the slums in the East End.
Oh, it was only a matter of time before she got blood on her hands then. What are you waiting for? Okay, enough the bullshit. You all shut it. We don't jump to conclusions here. We mustn't assume her guilt because of what she has to do to survive. Ah, speaking from experience, I see. My learned Nipponese friend. It is you who mustn't jump to conclusions. The prosecution has barely begun presenting its case. Yeah, of course. Convict, this appalling act of murder did not go unobserved. There were witnesses. Good gracious! After their testimony, this girl's true nature will be exposed. Pitiful pick purse. Or cold-hearted kill. Here's to establishing the truth. The court will take the floor plan and firearm into evidence. Hand them to the bailiff, please, Lord 16. At once, my lord. Alright, crime scene floor plan. Windy gas gun. Windyback's gum. Gun pistoru. Gun belonging to the victim. Alright, let's check the barrel. It is said before that he usually has only 1 bullet. The cylinder's completely empty, it seems. Okay. So Mac always used to keep this gun to hand on a shop counter. Yeah, but only ever with a single bullet loaded. I understand.
That's right. To keep all the pawned articles that were in his care safe.
His 1 bullet was fired that night, and the poor man lost his life. Was he protecting his shop, I wonder? Trying to keep the articles safe? One thing that I'm gonna be interested in is if there's like more than 1 bullet. If we were to find something that has... Well, okay. 1 bullet comes from Windyback. Like, I guess... Actually, no, hold on a second. I was thinking of this before. Like, I'm thinking. Like, that Windyback shot somebody with his 1 bullet. And this could be the bullet. We have 2 bullets. If we are to go with the idea that there was only 1 bullet that was used from that gun, that means we have 2 guns. Or we have only Windyback's gun that had 2 bullets. So it's either or. So I think that one thing that should be established is where this bullet came from. Did this bullet come from Weedyback's gun? Because if that's the case, then the bullet that was used to shoot Weedyback came from a completely different gun. If Weedyback's gun had like only one bullet. Yeah, I guess we shall see. We shall see. I feel like that bullet should be examined as well, but the thing is, I don't think that we really have like tools to really establish if a bullet came from a particular gun, like in present time with the bullet print and such that we had in the present, such as with Manfred's case. I don't think that we have that during this time, so I guess we shall see. So at this point, the cylinder is empty. Is there something like inside here? Maybe accidentally shoot myself? I mean, it's okay. I'm just skilled and I can survive this stuff. Plan, blah blah blah. Not much around here. Alright.
I feel like the moon here has turned very gloomy all of a sudden, Bruno.
Yeah, it's gonna be okay. I think that's because it has. Let us begin. Bring forth the witnesses to the foul murder of Mr. Pop Winneback on 16th April of this year. Of this particular year. Oh, hello there, Mr. Short Person there. Who are you? Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court. Name's Nash Skulkin. Occupation is, Betty. Professional Betty.
Name's Ringo Skulkin. Occupations,
Same as him.
Tobias Gregson, Scotland Yard Inspector.
That's right. We're what they call the Free Skulkin Brothers. Free? What the fuck are you looking at me for? I'm not doing the routine. What are you looking at me like that for? Don't let me in with you lot. Cord blimey, that's cold. Don't you know what we're going through? It's all the proof. Lost contact with them we have. So we're scouring every shady corner of the capital. And then last night, we came across you, the very spit of the block. Ain't that right, Ringo? He is Nash. He is. The very spit of it. So he decided there ain't even what we got. So he decided there and then what was we gotta do. We was gonna call ya. Big Bro Sulky. Come on, leave it out, you two. Sulky Skulkin? And that's before he has run out of chips. Do you guys know each other? Are you actually brothers or something? What the fuck is going on here? Well then, Inspector Sulky Gregson. Begging your pardon, my lord, but the name's Tobias Gregson. What I would like to know, Inspector, is what you're doing in the witness stand. The Skulkin brothers are currently under arrest, my lord, on suspicion of theft. Thieves, aren't they, these three? No, my lord. Begging your pardon, but please don't love me in with this lot. 2 nights ago, these two brothers illegally entered an establishment with intent to burn. And in the course of their nefarious activities, they became embroiled in far more sinister crime. By Jove! You mean to say... What an extraordinary coincidence! Indeed, my lord. We have plenty of that recently. While attempting to burglarize the pawnbrokery, they witnessed its proprietor's murder. Order! Order! The various trespasses of these brothers is not the subject of today's proceedings. Though they will naturally face trial in the very near future. Yeah, I guess so. In a completely different case. That is connected. Oh, so that's what Tobias was talking about, like, before. I see. Like, yeah, that is a separate case of thievery and such. That happened to be connected to this case of murder. And I guess they're gonna be talking about that, like, after this, because this one has, like, more priority, I guess. With your lordship's permission, I'd like to remain at the stand to keep these gents on the straight and all. Of course, Inspector. Skeptical as I am about the caliber of these witnesses, I will permit them to take the stand. Mr. and Mr. 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 and Mr. Skulkin, you will now testify before the court. Describe the events of the night in question, and what exactly you saw. EP45. Cause a Skulkin never Skulkin. Get out of it. Alright. Our first witness testimony. I'm looking at you, shorty. Because of the whole diagonal rising sky attack. We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours, and a gas door was ajar, see. It was like some kind of sign, begging for us to go in, it was. But once we got inside, core blimey lummy, we heard a gunshot from the back room. We went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside. We never done nothing, governor. We never took nothing. We just left it at that, nice and quiet. Alright. Terrible coincidence, it would seem. The precise moment these miscreants entered the property, an even more sinister crime was afoot. The witness's testimony is consistent with the crime scene in every detail. The door providing access to the storeroom from the main shop was indeed locked from the inside. And within, only the victim and the accused were found. Okay. I feel like I know where this is going. These particular guys are gonna be seen as innocent of this crime right now because, well, the storeroom was actually locked. And on that, it was locked from inside. And Gina had the key in her possession. Therefore, these two sticky weird bandits of Great Ace Attorney, they are gonna be seen as innocent because how could they have managed to kill Pop Windyback in the storeroom if they couldn't get in there in the first place? Especially since, like, okay, you can imagine that one of these sticky bandits are gonna have like a gun and shoot through that tiny window in the door, like to the storeroom and such. But that will be the case of a horizontal shooting through the heart. It wouldn't be as much of a rising diagonal one. So yeah, that would be like inconsistent if they were to shoot Weedy back through that tiny window in the door. Like it would be horizontal. No. In order for somebody to shoot Windy back, they would have to be really, really close to Windy back in the first place for the rising diagonal shot to happen. They'd have to be really, really close. So either Windy back was like outside the storeroom, like in the main room, like right here, and one of these bastards shot him like bam bam, or all of them were inside and the bam bam happened and such. So I guess that's something to question. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witness now, of course. Counsel, if you please. Counsel? What's up, Veronica? Yes.
What's the matter now?
Sorry, I was just stunned into silence for a minute by the blatant lies being told by the pair in the stand. Okay. That's all nonsense. Because I saw it with my own eyes. I just have to expose their testimony for the peck of lies it is. Those
Those wretched arrested bastards.
Okay. Do you mean the door between the main shop and the store? If my learned friend is having difficulty grasping the situation, perhaps a drawing would help. Oh no, don't. Okay. Excluding the shop's entrance from the street, there is only one other door, that of the storeroom.
Of course, there was only a little oil lamp burning. Not much to see by. And the door was hidden behind a curtain.
Oh, okay. Hidden behind curtains. That's right. When we arrived, the door was mostly obscured by the curtain. Ah, okay. That may be important detail, who knows. Tell me, why exactly did you try to open that door?
Eh?
Any normal petty thief would run to the sound of a gunshot, I should think.
Ugh. Well, you turned to rabbit tail. Well, Nash, yeah. I suppose you have to say we ain't normal, eh?
Morally speaking, humans respond in one of two ways on hearing a gunshot or squeak. The timid flee, gripped by fear, while the courageous investigate to see if they might help. These gentlemen are of the latter inclination. My learned Nipponese friend, it would seem, is of the former. Okay, can you really say that about these two bozos? Can you really say that they are the latter inclination? Are you seriously lying to us about that? Are you lying to yourself about that? Alright, somehow I just proved that I was a coward that night. Thank you, Counsel, for proving that you are a coward. I believe you all understand that the door was locked and could not be opened. Proceed, witnesses. We never done nothing, Governor. We never took nothing. Yeah. You didn't do or take anything, you say. Is that your story? Well, it was a bell of soonness, weren't it?
It was, Nash, it was. Didn't have time to pull me ducks out of me lucy lockets.
So with not time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left. Nice and quietly, you say.
That's right, Governor. Nothing we ate more than violence. Peace-loving nibblers we are. Not bludgers. We are, Nash, we are. Never even pulled me dukes out of me lucy lockets.
So you'd like us to clearly believe?
Eh?
Come again? As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person? Saints alive! You fired a gun, you say? Blimey, Governor!
You ain't telling us it was you in the doorway.
It was. Small world, eh?
Like a bloody Nora. Didn't you mention that before?
You were armed with a gun, and as you fled the scene, you fired that gun at London's greatest detective, Sherlock Holmes.
Shot the great Mr. Sholmes. Did you hear that, actually? It was a rumor he'd been rushed to hospital. Great Sholmes? That's beyond the pale.
Yeah, you know, I am forgetting that detail, but one extra bullet would definitely be for Sholmes. So yeah, there's definitely some shots being fired, not just with the bullet that was on that calendar and the one that killed Windyback. The night in question, this pair were arrested by the police within minutes of the discovery of the crime scene. And yeah, you know, I guess with that being said, there definitely have been two weapons, because at the time that Sholmes was shot, the storeroom was locked, and the murder weapon was inside, so there were definitely two weapons. Their suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. And when searched, The firearm was indeed found in their possession. Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of a shot having been fired from it. The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers. Yeah, indeed. Remnants of powder around the muzzle, is the say counsel. Remnants of powder. The court will hold this weapon as evidence. Alright, here's the other gun. A firearm found in the possession of the Skulkin brothers upon their arrest. There aren't signs that a single round was fired. A single one, though? No, my learned Nipponese friend. Yes? Here's to you successfully presenting the evidence. Wait a minute. Now that I'm remembering Sholmes, could it be that? Hold on, I don't remember like Sholmes's autopsy. Was the bullet still inside Sholmes? Because if it's not, and it went through Sholmes, maybe this blood comes from Sholmes himself. This was the bullet that went through Sholmes when he got shot. Okay, in which case then maybe that mystery would be solved in that case, but let's see. For yes, there are the telltale signs of spent powder on this gun, and a single bullet missing from the cylinder. But the prosecution demands evidence that it was fired at the scene of the crime, under scrutiny in this trial.
Objection!
Okay, well, I don't need evidence, because I was there.
Objection!
However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not. If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of its rash claim, we shall have no choice but to toast your incompetence and move on. The evidence that these two fired that gun before they left Winnibags that night. The court demands that all claims are affirmed with clear proof. What evidence shows that these witnesses allowed the firearm in the pawnbroker's shop that night? Well, the thing is, though, like it is like right over here. Like this would be the proof, but maybe. Nah, you know what? I'm gonna present the portfolio. It should be like right over here. The evidence isn't this portfolio, because the description right over here, it doesn't really tell us of the exact evidence that is needed. We would have to select like this particular thing right over here. Because I was thinking, like, maybe I have the right idea, it's just that it was the wrong evidence. But who knows, maybe the game will be generous with us. Well, what on earth have you there, Counsel? During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains. I'm not trusting the police to do the job they are trained to do. How arrogantly Nipponese of you. Well, we analyzed all the blood samples we found anyway, and recorded these results in this portfolio. And they claim to have the evidence the court is demanding therein. Yep, my lord. No more dallying then, Counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once. What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded the firearm at the scene? Ah, okay. So I guess now we can choose between these two. Okay, well, we're gonna go with this. What is that? Explain. It's photographic print taken at Windybags pawnbrokery on the day of the incident. From the scene of the crime, is it? Is that a bullet hole? My eyes do not deceive me. It appears the bullet is still lodged there. Indeed, as your lordship noticed, the bullet pierced Mr. Weedyback's calendar. The date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death. The incident occurred at 1 hour after midnight, but this indicates that a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar had been set to the 16th. Oh, hold on, sir. I guess a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar had been set to 16th. Well, isn't it that Windyback said some detail about how he changed the calendar? I think at a specific time. I think. That's right. And while it isn't irrefutable, the defense believes this is credible evidence that witnesses did fire a round from their gun in the pawnbrokers that night. Ah! Order! On this appreciation stand, Lord Van Zix. With his foot on the desk, maybe? If that is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection. What? But you'll forgive me for flinging my whole chance aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes. I mean, do we have to forgive you every single time you do that? For that specific reason, every single time? I feel like it's getting normal at this point. It's getting, rather dull to forgive you every single time. Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbroker illegally. And like the bold baddies they claimed, opened fire on new arrivals before fleeing back onto the street. Take it easy there, governor. You're gonna land us in the soup.
We're at the deal. We're gonna get into them details. Tell him, Sulky. Let's set the block straight.
I have nothing to add. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about there. So he knew, did he? Zix knew their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes. Yeah, but, the thing is, he is thinking that this has nothing to do with the current murder of Windyback. Yeah, they shot Sholmes, but in the end, this still doesn't prove that they shot Windyback. It would seem that I owe my learned Nipponese friend a word of gratitude. What do you mean? What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact. To what fact do you refer, Lord Van Zix? As had been established, at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brother's gun. However, that shot found its target in Mr. Sholmes. And then clearly these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the proprietor and victim. In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Windyback at all. So that's it.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
That's it. We didn't have nothing to do with it. Hooray! Yeah, hooray indeed. It's not like you're gonna get sent to jail for the attempted murder of somebody else,
We didn't, Nesh. We didn't. That's what I reckon.
Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury. Oh, and let us not forget, attempted murder.
Quite a caliber, eh, fellas?
Ugh.
We're in for it now, bro.
Now then, let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Harold Sholmes. It would seem the man patronized the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly. Where's he going with this? Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery.
Eccentric? Says who?
Not me. Don't give me that look. You install a pair of machines like this one to the shop.
Oh. That's one of Ernie's red-handed recorders.
What is that, Council? It has the appearance of a photographic contraption. As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. Every half an hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed. Quite a good name for it. Prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device on the night in question. 8 p.m. 8:30. 9 p.m. 9:30. As the court will observe, copious identical prints are produced in a quite desultory fashion. Rather prodigal, I feel. What is that word? In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim's shop, my lord. If I may refer the court to the plan of the premises, the respective positions are here and here. Okay. You say these cameras produce a print every half hour. I'm afraid I fail to see how that would help if the anticipated thief conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals. One can only pray that the world be criminal lingers, my lord. Like maybe sleeping on the counter, I don't know. Like maybe we're dealing with some sleepy bandits. On the night in question, the witnesses currently in the stand were not caught on camera.
That's a bit of friar tuck, eh, bruv? Lady Luck loves a Skulkin.
Witnesses, at what time did you trespassing begin?
Must have been just after 1, right, bruv? Must have been, Nash. Must have been. Yeah, just gone 1.
In which case, minutes before these brothers entered the establishment. What scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence. Good lord! Oh, okay, this surely doesn't help the case. It's the defendant. Miss Gina Lestrade. As the court can clearly see, the accused is pictured, gun in hand, facing the victim over the shop counter. Okay, well, actually, let me see about something right over here. The gun looks like this, and then we have a gun that looks like this. Can I spot a bit of a difference? Well, it seems that we're dealing with Weedyback's gun right over here, which I guess makes sense. He was on the counter, and Gina grabbed it, apparently. No doubt coercing the proprietor to open the door to his storeroom. Quite. One can only too easily imagine the events that unfolded. The court will take this photographic print as evidence. If you please, counsel. Okay. A photographic taken automatically by the red-handed recorder. Showing the scene a short time before the murder took place. At 1 freaking a.m. My luck.
I don't believe it. Genie.
In short, the accused is the only person who could possibly have killed Mr. Windyback. I say, my lord. Yeah? if I might put in a word at this point. Oh. Go ahead, Mr. Foreman.
Took a belly bullet to the knee in the Battle of Maywood. 1880, don't you know?
Decorated for it and all that, but forced to retire from service sadly. Of course, metal can never outshine the exploits of chaps like us on the battlefield. Yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point? Carried on the battle after retirement, you see. The battle of daily life, you like. And here I am now, leading this small squadron. 6 men, all good and true. And we'll go down together, you mark my words. One for all, and all for one. I guess you know what this means, folks. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached agreement, have they? Is that what we are to understand? Well, Mr. Foreman, is that correct? In a manner of speaking, yes. That is the Gardev Squadron's position, sir. Oh no. It's status report for the courtman. On the double!
His lordship insists on promptitude at all times. And that goes for making decisions too.
I think you'll find the truth is as clear as day now. I could reach out and touch it. I wouldn't have left it in there. Just wouldn't. In all honesty, I can't actually remember.
Situation clear. Stop. No room for doubt. Stop. Truth now undeniable. Stop.
I am very sorry for brothers. They are lucky. Well, I now call upon each member of the jury to state his or her leaning in this matter. Announce your considered verdict to the court.
Guilty.
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 Okay. Okay, well, I guess so. It does indeed appear that the jury is unanimous in its leaning already. A photograph. It must be the definitive evidence that Gregson mentioned.
But Jenny didn't shoot him.
No, of course not. Like, okay. There is definitive proof that at some point Jeannie had the gun in her hand. Did she actually shoot Windy back with that? That is to be questioned. Cause, okay. Like, I can see at least, like, I don't know, it doesn't put Jeannie in a good spot, what I'm about to say over here, but it could very well be that Jeannie decided to use the gun to, at the very, like, not at the very least, but only to threaten Windyback to open the storeroom. She never really mentioned to kill Windyback and such, only to spook him into opening the storeroom to get to the stuff. Which is definitely not favorable for her at this point in time. My lord, the defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination. Yeah, well, yeah, I know this song and dance. So, you refuse to admit defeat again. How unsurprising. We shall proceed immediately with the submission examination. Mr. Foreman, are all members of the jury ready? Absolutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chaps. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty.